Hello everyone and welcome to week 4 of the Jump Plus Drax League. Last week we took home our first win, yippee! But this week we are up against Kuro. Kuro? I think it's Kuro. And they have... oh boy. Meowscarada, Rotom Wash, Tornadus, Tentacruel, Tinkaton, Torkoal, Raging Bolt, and Umbreon. Kuro is the person who sniped me on Tentacruel during the draft. They chose that they are going to be able to Terra it alongside Raging Bolt, which is scary. Terra Raging Bolt sounds terrifying, especially with Terra Electric boosting up its Thunderclap damage. You have Umbreon, a bulky supportive Pokemon, Torkoal setting up the Sun for Raging Bolt, Tinkaton being disruptive with rocks and knockoff. Toadstool able to remove any hazards. Tornadus can either be supportive or offensive. We've seen Kuro go for both with a Nasty Plot set and Tailwind sets in the past 3 weeks. We have Rotom Wash, which is admittedly something I don't expect to come. Doesn't do too well into pretty much my entire team, and I think it's just a little bit too frail to take on stuff such as Annihilate, Volcanion, and Latios. And then we have Meowscarada, which has been something Kuro has been using a lot. We've seen it in previous weeks be a lead, or just a fast Life Orb user. So we got our work cut out for us, especially with the Raging Bolt, as my team as a whole doesn't do too well into Kuro's team. Just a lot of strong Pokemon that I can't really break through that easily. But let's take a look deeper at this type matchup. Quite a few Pokemon weak to ground. Half the team is weak to ground on my opponent's team, with 2 immunities, which isn't the worst thing, right? Not a knock against the team, it's just something I notice. Then we also have a decent fairy weakness, but overall, this team is very well balanced, which is a little hard for my team to try and take a nab at. Especially with the Meowscarada. Meowscarada is incredibly difficult to build around because some of the Pokemon that I think would be really good here end up falling flat because of it. For example, Latios is normally very free to spam Draco Meteor, not spam Draco Meteor, but drop a Draco Meteor and then flip turn out with flip turn. But because Meowscarada, and to an extent Tornadus as well, are faster than it, makes it very hard for Latios to do that, especially if Kuro doesn't lead Meowscarada and saves it in the back. Though we do have a small plan for that if it does. I think there's a chance that Kuro... no, I think it's almost always going to be Jolly Meowscarada, but if it's Adamant Meowscarada, I have EV'd Latios to... because I am bringing Latios to this match, spoilers, to be faster than Adamant Meowscarada. So we'll see if that comes up based on how much damage Meowscarada ends up doing during the match. It's going to be a little hard to tell because of Life Orb. If Kuro brings Life Orb Meowscarada. Some other things that are annoying about this team is Ogerpon just doesn't look too good for this matchup. It's beaten out by Tentacruel, it's beaten out by Meowscarada because of Triple Axle, it's beaten out by Tornadus, it's beaten out by... can't really hurt Tinkaton, it can't really hurt Raging Bolt, it can't really hurt Torkoal. Ogerpon looks terrible for this matchup, which is a little annoying because both of my fastest Pokemon don't look too great for this matchup when they have 2 Pokemon that are faster than their fastest option. Which means... quite a bit of a tricky situation, isn't it? But let's head on over to the team. First off, we have Glamora with Choice Scarf, Sledge Bomb, Earth Power, Power Gem, and Mortal Spin. If just enough speed to outspeed, max speed, everything with the Choice Scarf. And this is for 2 reasons. Glamora is my intended lead for this matchup. Sludge Bomb and Power Gem are able to OHKO both Meowscarada and Tornadus respectively, because we are modest. We are not timid, because we don't need to be timid, because Glamora actually sits at a pretty great speed tier for being a Scarfer. Glamora ends up, I think, being in a very good lead position, because even if, like, the Meowscarada Sash, it can't 2-tap Glamora unless it goes for... I think Triple Axle can potentially kill Glamora. But Flower Trick isn't killing Glamora. Knockoff isn't killing Glamora. The only thing we're worried about is if it goes for Knockoff, then Glamora is slower than the Meowscarada, and then Meowscarada can KO Glamora afterwards. But if it's not Sash, Meowscarada, Glamora just sit up. Though there is a chance that they don't lead Meowscarada this week. They have also like leading with Tornadus with either Tailwind or Setup, which is where Power Gem comes in. Power Gem is able to OHKO Tornadus, and if it does set up Tailwind, that is a bit of an issue, unfortunately. Something that I haven't really been able to figure out what I'm going to do for, which you might say is a bit of a throw, but I just gotta hope it doesn't go for Tailwind. I mean, if it does go for Tailwind, that would, what? Everything on the team becomes faster than mine, and then I don't really have a way of dealing with it. But I don't have any ways of stopping Tailwind from going up, because I don't have anything that's got a faster taunt than Tornadus. Oh, I suppose there is the issue of Tailwind being not that great in singles, but we have seen it to decent effect so far in this league, as well as in one of Kuro's previous matches where they set up Tailwind, so it is something I need to be worried about, and unfortunately I don't really have any ways to deal with it other than revenge killing Tornadus immediately with Power Gem. So that could possibly prove an issue, but we'll have to see if it does. Next up we have Gliscor with Earthquake, Knockoffs, Protect, and Spikes, with Toxic Orb, Toxic Heal, with a special defensive Gliscor. This Gliscor is really only here to fight Torkoal and get Chip into Raging Bolt. Unfortunately, Gliscor just doesn't do that much damage into most of my opponent's team and is worried about stuff like Triple Axle from Meowscarada, and Tinkaton is a bit of disruptor to it. It can't really hurt Umbreon, but Umbreon can't really hurt Gliscor back. Well, actually it can because of Foul Play. So, it's got one, like, this is part of what I said during the, like, breakdown of the team matchup. Gliscor doesn't look too good into this matchup in total, but so did an Ogerpon, and so did an Jirachi, so it became really hard for me to try and find what to put on the team, aside from the first four, which were Annihilate, Volcanion, Clefable, and Glamora. So Gliscor just had one niche, and I decided I'll take it over nothing. Next up, we have Clefable with Unaware, Moonblast, Thunderbolt, Moonlight, Stealth Rock, with Leftovers, max HP, max defense, and a little bit of special attack. Oof. This was a hard sell to make to me, because Clefable actually looks like a very good lead here if it wasn't for the Tinkaton. If it wasn't for Tinkaton, I'd probably be leading Clefable 9 times out of 10. Because it shuts down a Meowscarada lead, it shuts down a Tornadus lead because of Thunderbolt. But if they lead the Tinkaton, it becomes really hard for me to do anything to it. Which is a little worrisome, because Glamora's way of getting through Tinkaton is Earth Power, but if it's Scarf, if it's Air Balloon, Glamora can't touch it. So that might be a flaw in the team. But they haven't shown a affection to leading with Tinkaton, so I don't suspect it would, though I guess rocks are pretty good into my team. We'll see, I guess, how I'm feeling once we get into the match on who I want to lead, either Glamora or Clefable. Next up, we have Choice Scarf Volcanion. Similar deal to Glimora, will be faster than their entire team thanks to Choice Scarf. With Terra, Ground, Flamethrower, Earth Power, Steam Eruption, and Explosion. There was no real reason I went with Explosion as its final move, other than nothing else Volcanion gets really benefits a Scarf set. Doesn't get Trick. Fling doesn't really do much into my opponent's team, even though I don't think Volcanion gets Fling. I think there's a different Pokemon I was looking at that gets Fling. So I ended up just putting Explosion on it, because if I ever feel like Volcanion's done its job and I don't really need it anymore, I could just send it in. Because they have no natural ghost type. So I could just send it in when I think it's done its job and click Explosion. This is another Pokemon that'll handle stuff like Meowscarada, the Rotom, Tornadus to some extent, because Steam Eruption 2-taps it. You also have Terra Ground for the Torkoal and Raging Bolt, but I'm fairly certain Steam Eruption does more before Terra to Torkoal. But Sun goes up, so now yeah, Terra Ground Earth Power will always end up doing more to Torkoal. Next up, we have Annihilate with Drain Punch, Rage Fist, Bulk Up, and Taunt. This Annihilate is planned for the endgame. The idea is, after everything is dealt with, Meowscarada, Rotom to some extent, but not much, Raging Bolt, and I guess, and not Umbreon. Umbreon is fine. You can send in Annihilate and start going for bulk ups with Drain Punch to keep it healthy, Taunt to wear off disruption from, like, say, Umbreon, and just take the rest of the house down. Unfortunately, with Umbreon, we are worried about foul play, so that is something to be worried about. But Drain Punch does so much to Umbreon that I think we'd be fine, especially if we get our first boost in. And then lastly, we have Latios. I already mentioned I did EV this thing to be faster than Adamant Meowscarada, but I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to do with its moveset, so I went with Draco Meteor, Luster Purge, Flip Turn, Light Screen with the Soul Dew. Light Screen because their team is mostly comprised up of special attackers, save for Meowscarada. And to some extent, Umbreon, but Umbreon's always using foul play, so it's not really attacking with any of its own stats. I should lower this to 0, so I'm taking even less from foul play. In fact, we need to go in and do that to every single one of our special attackers. Sorry. Knees bear. I always forget to do that when facing off against something that typically runs foul play. But that will do it for our team for this week of the Jump Pluff Draft League. You might see some changes in between now and when the match happens. I might make a little more changes, in which I will try to remember to mention during the match. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace. Okay, so it's Terra Electric, Raging Bolt, and Terra Stellar Toadscruel. No, Tinkaton. Which means I think I'm safe to lead Glimora. How much will Glimora do to Rotom Wash? How much does Volcanion take from Volt Switch? Fairly a lot. How much does Score take? Nearly dies to a Hydro Pump. I think we just Sludge Bomb. Lock ourselves into Sludge Bomb. You're gonna knock off. Yeah, Rotom Wash comes back in. Rocky Helmet. Needs a Hydro Pump or Volt Switch to switch out. I can't Volt Switch because of the... How much does Earth Power Gem do? 40 to 46 to... Hey, hold on, this is more the death invested, because I only get 46%. Is it the death nature? Maybe. Well, Power Gem will always KO then. Rotom down, which makes Gliscor a little more free, though Tentacruel's still there. What can Tentacruel do? It would want to go for a water move, right? Or does it... I think I still need Glamora for Meowscarada. Go into Latios. Latios into Tentacruel. Luster Purge always threatens a knockout, and they could switch into Meowscarada, so I think I'm just gonna Draco. That is Spadef Tentacruel. Maybe it's AV. I think I'm good to bulk up here. Annihilate into Torkoal. I think I could just bulk up again. Ah. Tornadus. I'm going to Clefable. if they go for Sludge Bomb again. What's Sludge Bomb? Sludge Bomb. You're gonna knock off. Heavy duty boots. Okay, that's actually good to get rid of. Kelwin petered out. Bleak Wind into Volcanion does how much? 54 to 46. Dragon Pulse KOs. It's Life Orb. He's 73. Do I go into Volcanion now? No. Annihilate. Raging Bolt. Got Life Orb. Thunderclap doesn't do enough to annihilate. Rage Fist does more damage, and this is not physical Torkoal. This is really not physical Torkoal. Is it offensive? Offensive Torkoal. The Spadef drop is actually a little annoying because of Tornadus. Raging Bolt comes back in and dies to the spikes. Okay, it's a good thing we set up the spikes with Gliscor. Tornadus comes back in. At this point, I think Clefable has done its job. Sludge Bomb kills from this range. Does it kill Tentacruel too? Glamora. Tentacruel. Has a chance. It doesn't kill if it's max HP. Yeah. I think Flamethrower will always kill at this range. Oh, but now I'm weak to you. Oh well. Oh, we're faster. Oh yeah, because Choice Scarf. I forgot about Choice Scarf. I forgot about my own damn Choice Scarf. But it played out. It worked. I forgot about my own Choice Scarf in the end, but we would have been fine because of Annihilate. Choice Scarf Volcanion really came in clutch here, same as Choice Scarf Glamora. And we ended up clutching it out in the end, thanks to, especially spikes on the Gliscor. Spikes on the Gliscor is actually really key. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next week. Peace.